Now I've got to talk really fast, make up for that. Music affects us all in one way or another. And it's either going to help us, heal us, or hurt us. And the reason for that is because of a few things, 3 things that I'm going to point out to you. And it's all been backed, actually, and that's what my intent is to show you the facts concerning you as a human being and the effects that not only music and sound has on you as a human being, but even the words that we speak to one another. Okay, do it this way. Let's do it from here. Your subconscious mind. We all know about the subconscious mind. So many of you probably are aware of the tapes that they have, the positive thinking tapes, the subconscious things that you supposedly don't hear that your subconscious mind catches on. Your subconscious mind does not discriminate. Here's an example of the non-discrimination of the subconscious mind. You can tell someone to go kill their mother. The conscious mind will reject it. But if you put music to the suggestion, music has a way of infiltrating the subconscious mind without discrimination. You can teach someone to be ruthless and mean and evil through giving it to them and feeding it to them through music. Here's an example. I wish I could remember the fellow's name who was doing a seminar. He was referring to a young brother who had been involved in gangs, and they would do drive-by shootings. And the young man said that before they would do a shooting, they would ride around and listen to gangster rap really loud and just ride around for about, after 20 or 30 minutes of that, he said you could go kill your mama without thinking about it. It would just, because what was happening here is that this was being penetrated into the subconscious. This dark vibration was being penetrated in the subconscious, and it allowed them to be able to go and do a drive-by shooting, kill somebody and didn't care. We just had an incident like that a few days ago. An innocent young child was killed. And I would dare to say that before they did it, they probably rode around or did something to that effect, or they've been so infiltrated by it that they can do it automatically. I don't know, but the subconscious mind is a part of your humanity, and that's why all music has some type of effect on your subconscious. So all I'm saying is, in this moment right now, be very careful what you listen to. John passed that one. It's the spirituality of music. There are 2 elements, very important, that make you subject to the effects of music. One of those things are sound waves. The reason why is because all matter is a derivative of sound wave. There was a Time magazine article back in '97 that dealt with this phenomenon. It was called What's Hiding Behind the Quark. And what it was, they had some very high-powered gadgets and some doodads, and all these scientists from around the world were trying to find the origins of all beginning, and you know how they do that, and they're searching through the atom and trying to find that smallest piece of matter that makes everything be what it is. And unbeknownst to them, they stumbled across the fact that they realized that all matter is at its root a sound wave. Now, I don't know what your various beliefs are, but there are some things that you can take from that if you're very careful. I'm not going to get into that, but the scientific facts were that we're the result of sound waves. No wonder music affects us the way it does. No wonder it can make us cry. No wonder it can make us happy. No wonder it can lift our spirits. No wonder it can bring us down, make us violent, because of the vibration and its resonation in our body. It's literally physically affecting us in one way or another. The other thing is that you're maybe 70% water, aren't we? That's what they say.
80.
The human body is 70% water. If that be the case, what I'm about to show you is going to help you understand how the effects that water will have a direct impact on what affects your body. So what affects water is going to affect you. I want to show you this. This is from a study from a Japanese doctor who some of you may have heard of him. He's Dr. Emotto. He's a doctor, a physicist, and he's also very much into photography. And he figured out a way to take photographs of water crystals. And what he did was, in his experiment, he would do different things to the water. With things such as, for example, this is a photograph of water crystals at a molecular level, so to speak, almost molecular level. And this is what happens to the water crystals by saying thank you. Now, pay attention to the shape and the form and how it's pretty, like a pretty snowflake. It has form. Again, this is thank you in Chinese. Notice the consistency here. Merci beaucoup in French. This is all saying thank you. These are healthy looking formations of water crystals. Well, here's the English word for thank you. It does have some formation, but you know, maybe it's because, I don't know, in English our thank you may not be as sincere. Really, you know, when you think about language, it's a reflection of your culture. This is thank you in Korean, 감사합니다. Here, this first crystal, this is very interesting. This first crystal on the top left is when they had a bunch of children saying, "You're beautiful," several times. And notice how it's really well formed. To the right, it's children saying, "You're beautiful," only a few times. It was starting to form, but it did not complete until they said it many, many times, and it just got better and better. And at the bottom there, that's the water that was ignored, completely ignored. Now keep in mind while you're looking at this, keep in mind, keep pictures and images of how these shapes are, and the fact that you are 70% water. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. There's energy behind it. Why is the word thank you always in these things? Why is this consistent no matter the language? Because we project energy when we speak words. We project a vibration. We project energy when we speak words, and they do affect you physically. Here's "you fool." Notice it looks kind of sick. It doesn't have the symmetry or the shape. It has no, it's just kind of void out there. It's not very
pretty.
That's "you fool" in English. "You make me sick, I will kill you." It's still the water, same water. No, it looks like there's a little man in there with a gun, doesn't it? Now, I want you to keep this in mind now, because we're getting to, okay, this is some music that was played to the water. It was a Bud Powell tune, a jazz tune from one of his compositions. Bud Powell, many of you know Bud Powell, right? Clap if you know who Bud Powell is, please. He was a great musician, one of the greatest. Next to it, he played some heavy metal music. You know, the stuff they do the slam dancing to. Running into each other. I wonder why they do that when they listen to that music. Maybe it's because it's not healthy. Maybe it's because it's affecting their humanity in a negative way. As I said at the beginning, whether you want to believe me or not, all music is spiritual in some way, shape, or form. It's going to affect you in some way, shape, or form. Look at the difference. Okay, here, top left, I'm trying to show you now the result of your humanity being affected by music. There's the devil music up there, and there's some more bad stuff down there. This is it. affecting your humanity. This is what it brings. This is what it brings. There's some nice crystal there from Bud Powell's music. They also have many other beautiful crystals from Beethoven, Mozart, and other jazz musicians, and even Paul McCartney's Yesterday. But I'm trying to show you the correlation here. Physically healthy water crystals bring physically healthy human beings who are made of 70% of this water. I hope that this is making sense to you. And the reason why I chose this particular presentation versus the other three that we do, one of them is dealing with history of jazz and how the African influence is in there and how it's brought over. A lot of things a lot of people don't understand or realize about the African influence to music here in the West. But this particular one I feel is the most important thing for people to understand, because we're talking about affecting your physical health. We're talking about affecting your mental and spiritual health as well with music. Music really can heal you or it can hurt you. And we do hope that the music that we present to you tonight will bring you some healing and cause you to feel good and cause your water crystals in your body to make nice, beautiful shapes that make you feel good and peaceful. Yeah. And that you walk away from here, out of this auditorium, feeling good. And you see somebody on the street, and hey, how you doing? You don't have to know someone to care about it. You know? And I just try and my best with what I know and my knowledge to share it with you. And that's why I do this. Because I believe that the secret to happiness in life, this is kind of like an L. Kind of like an L to represent the word love. And there's one finger pointing out to humanity. And there's one finger pointing to God. If you can love God and you can love your fellow man, you will find contentment. You will live a happy and fulfilling life. Thank you.